Hi, and a warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. I'm Greg Parry. I'm a wellbeing specialist. And when we refer to well-being, we're talking about a very, very broad subject because it covers our physical, our mental, and our emotional wellness. And that's a lot of material to cover. But you could also perhaps argue that it covers our need for spiritual awareness. And I've had quite a few messages in the email about this particular aspect of human well-being, and I thought it might be interesting just to touch on it very, very briefly. Now, we've recommended the use of meditation as a fabulous tool for helping us to regain better control over our thoughts and feelings. A great way to bring about a sense of inner peace and calm and balance, get a little bit more objectivity into the way that we're reacting to the world, because we live in a very busy, distracting, stressful environment. It's the way the world is. The only answer to it is to take better control over the internal process. Now, meditating and being able to discover this sense of deeper peace and calm and balance has huge benefits for our health and our well-being. But this is where it gets interesting. See, if you follow the pathway of meditation and you're able, just for a moment, to separate yourself from the stream of thoughts and feelings, you're able to create a little bit of distance between your perception and the flow of consciousness. That's when something interesting can happen, because it's a moment when you might move into a state that was called by the ancient teachers the silence, the great stillness. It's extremely rare in our culture, where we're constantly bombarded with information, we're constantly distracted, our thoughts and feelings are flying all over the place. But that amazing moment of detachment leads us to an extraordinary change in our perception. Not just a different understanding of how we are perceiving the world around us, but also a way of interpreting how we have been reacting to our own thoughts and feelings. And this opens up an invitation to consider a different sense of personal identity. Because within the stillness, there is a radical shift in perception. It's been called a moment of transformation because when you see, or rather when you perceive the world in such a different way, without the filtering lenses of your familiar thoughts and feelings, everything looks different. Everything looks very, very different. It feels different. When you're freed from the distractions of all your thoughts, and I talk about this, and people nod saying, oh yeah, and remember, it's very rare because we are so deeply attached to the way that our thoughts and feelings are flowing that to imagine ourselves outside of that loop of perception is almost impossible. But if you meditate and you move just a little step beyond the familiar beneficial advantages of gaining a little bit more control over the internal dynamics of your thoughts and feelings, that's where the gateway opens. Now, within that space that is called the stillness, the great silence, you're no longer driven by your emotional energy. Now, these emotions exist, but it feels as if you're at the center of an enormous storm of emotional energy. You can see this power, this force circulating around you, but you no longer participate. It's a sense of beautiful detachment. It might last for a few moments. It might last longer. If you experience this incredible state of detachment, it's very, very beneficial for your mental and physical health. But many teachers have suggested there is a spiritual dimension within that experience that is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to describe. But it stays with you. So you come back into the world, you think, well, that was very special. But something perhaps has changed. You're no longer reacting the same way. You're no longer this leaf blown around in the wind of your own emotions. You have a sense of calm and detachment. It's very powerful. And it helps you to feel more in control of life, of the process you're experiencing. And without feeling too attached to this new, extraordinary, transforming experience, you can just wait patiently, meditate, relax, and almost of its own accord, you slip back into the same state until it becomes easier. Now, the ancient teachers also shared with us that the answers to every question you will ever have can be found within that silence. It's enigmatic, isn't it? It's curious. But let's remember that we're no longer using the same patterns of thoughts and feelings that have characterized our sense of identity with the world, with our sense of who we think we are. It's expanded, it's changed, it's shifted, and it isn't going to go back to the way it was before. It's a progressive experience. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, that experience may well challenge all of your conventional beliefs. And that's, again, something that the ancient teachers warned us about. You can't take your existing belief system with its limitations, pass through the silence, and expect those beliefs to come out intact, because our perception has shifted, it's changed. It's not complete, it's part of a continuing evolutionary process. But it teaches us something important, that our old familiar way of locking ourselves into a tiny bubble of perception is not the only way of perceiving reality. There are opportunities to expand that perception, and that would change our relationship with the world. I hope that wasn't too esoteric, but I'm encouraging you to at least explore the possibility, because it has such a powerful impact on the quality of life. And ultimately, if we can enhance your well-being, then we've done what we set out to achieve. In the meantime, let me know if you have any experiences within this particular dimension. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings. My address is in the description below. And in the meantime, let me wish you a wonderful day.